Alright, you're welcome to the dressmaking class again. This is a class where we learn how we construct garments. So we are beginning with the first thing, and that is the taking of measurement of our client. You can see our client is a happy person. She is here to be measured for a gown. So let's start. Our first thing is to know how many types of measurements are we going to take. We will be taking 4 of them. So the first is the circumference measurement around the body. So the first of those measurements will be the chest measurement. So the chest measurement is taken when the client raises her hand, then the tape measure is passed around her body. So you take note of that point where the tape measure is kind of close to the bust but not directly over the fullest part of the bust. Make sure that that aspect is straight both in the front and the back. So at that front it has to come down a little. So from what we have there, then the client, is it comfortable for you?
Yes.
What is the chest measurement now? 36. The next circumference measurement will be taken will be around the bust. So we'll take it over the fullest part of the bust. The goal is to make sure that it is not too slack and it is not too tight. So when the tape measure is passed over just like this, over the bust, we check the measurement. What is the measurement of the bust? 38. Okay. Alright, the next measurement to take is that of the waist. The true waist is located just a little above the navel. So client locates your navel, then you pass the tape measure just a little above the navel, and we check what the waist measurement is. You can drop your hand from the navel. So what is the measurement of the
31.
waist? 31. The waist is naturally the narrowest part of the body, so that helps you to take note of it. The last circumference measurement will be the hip of the client. That is the fullest part of the lower trunk of the body. You take it round and make sure it is not too firm, it is not too loose. So when you measure around the fullest part of the hip, you take note. What is the measurement of the hip?
41.
41. Alright. So we go to the second category of measurements to be taken. Now we take the width measurement, those ones that go across horizontally. The first is the shoulder measurement, from one shoulder point to another shoulder point. So client, raise your first hand to locate the shoulder point, and then you raise the second hand as well. Now drop the two ends. So what is the shoulder measurement? 14. Now the second width measurement is the bust width. That is from the first nipple to the second. So you take note of the distance, and that's for our clients, the measurement is 7. Now we go to the third kind of measurement to be taken, which are the length measurements or vertical measurements. We will take it straight from the base of the neck to wherever the dresses will be getting to, but there are some junctions along the line. So let us start from the shoulder straight down to the chest, to the point where the chest measurement was taken the other time. That gives us how many inches?
8.
8 inches. Then from the shoulder to the bust, to the fullest part of the bust,
10.
for our client it is 10. Then to the waist, to the point where the waist measurement was taken, that is how many inches? 17. And then to the hip, 27. And lastly to the hem. Hem is where we want the gown to get to. We want it to be below the nail. So 44. For our client it is
44.
Now we will have an error if the client is looking down when taking that kind of measurement. So it's necessary for the client to stay upright. Now, having taken these 3 categories of measurements, we are going to measure the sleeve. We take 3 kinds of measurements over there. The first one is the sleeve length. So the client has to put her hand around her waist and then measure from the shoulder point, the joint, to wherever the desired sleeve length is. So if it is a short sleeve, it will stop around the bicep. What is bicep? Bicep is that fullest part of the arm, the big part of the arm. That's for our client is how many inches? 8 inches. Then going to 3/4 sleeve, it will go a little below the elbow. So going down a little below the elbow, how many inches do we have there? 16. And then we will go to the wrist for a long sleeve. That gives us how many inches? 24 inches. Now the second measurement in this case is the armhole. That is to measure round the armpits. So going round the armpits, the armhole measurements for our client is how many inches? 16 inches. And lastly, to the sleeve hem, that is the end. If you want it to be a short sleeve, we are going to measure around the bicep. So measuring around the bicep for our client, we have how many inches?
30.
13. Then go towards the calf. The calf is that bigger part of the second division of the arm. That is where the 3/4 will stop. So when you measure around that, how many inches do we have? 11. And if it is for a long sleeve, you measure around the wrist. And what do we have for our clients? 7.5 inches. So this will be the measurement we will be using. So we will be stopping here to go to the pattern drafting. So make sure that in your group you choose a good client, measure the person and make a record of it. Thank you.